Howdy, y'all. I'm back again, and I've got something kind of cool to talk about in a way. So, if you've watched any of my videos before, you already know that I like to write, specifically speculative fiction, sci-fi fantasy, that kind of thing. And after years of contemplating, starting, scrapping, restarting, abandoning, picking back up, the usual, I've actually managed to finish a novel. Now, it's not published. It's still being edited, but it's done. Like, I did it in terms of, like, I put the last period at the end. The end, so to speak, happened. And that, to me, was like a monumentous occasion. What it felt like was, if you guys ever heard that Arnold Schwarzenegger quote where he's just like he's talking about the pump. He's like, the pump feels better than coming. Feels better than coming. You know what I mean? Like just being pumped up. That's what that felt like. Creatively, in terms of like a writer, spiritually, like in terms of fulfilling my purpose, self-actualizationingly, I felt like I had a pump. And that felt really good. And this was months ago. My beta readers are taking a minute. Love y'all, but they're taking a minute. But I'm still, in a way, riding that high. Yeah, I still got to go to my day job. And yeah, I mean, that fucking blows. I don't want to be there. But to some degree, I'm still riding the high of having finished that book. And that speaks to something larger, right? I think that, as people, we need a sense of purpose and we need a goal. And that's the same no matter whether you're a toddler, a grown-ass man, or an elder. Like, I think that you have to have something that kind of that you're looking forward to, a sense of the future being exciting, not something to dread, right? Because if I didn't have my writing, and if I didn't have like all the other little creative things that I aspire to do and make, what would be the point of getting up in the morning? I can't just go to my job thinking this is it, because I'm not like a worker bee in that sense. That's not how I'm wired. I can't just get up and be like, yep, time to clock in 9 to 5, and that's it. Like, that is a sort of like inner death that I can't accept. And if that is your life, that's, fine. If that's what you like, then more power to you. But like, I need to strive for something that's mine. I can't just sit there and work for a corporation for another man's dream my whole life when he doesn't even know my name. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't sit right with me personally. So having these projects helps me feel a sense of fulfillment and like I'm doing something that matters. And that's important. It helps me get out of bed. And finishing this book, it really made me feel like I actually had some bite behind my bark. And I wasn't just a guy who kept talking about things, because that is an easy trap to fall into. You can talk about something, say it is a book. Oh yeah, here, I'm going to work on this book. Hey guys, I'm working on this book. Isn't this really cool? And that gives your brain a weird kind of satisfaction when people agree with you that it's cool, that you almost feel like you did that thing for the day, so you no longer have to do that thing today, and then your progress kind of stalls. But when you're like low-key in the shadows, just like working on it like a fucking assassin, and then you're done and you finish it and it works, like that's a great feeling. That just feels incredible. And yeah, I mean, if you can talk about something, get your validation, and then still work on it, again, more power to you. But sometimes I'd fall into that trap where I would just say I'm working on something. I get the validation. Oh, shit, that's cool. That feels good. And then you forget to fucking do it that day. But this is all to say, if you have some kind of project that means something to you that you're working on, I think you owe it to yourself to just show up every day. That was my problem. I was afraid of showing up because I was afraid of making something bad. But at the end of the day, I had to accept that maybe the first draft of what I was working on just has to be bad before it becomes good. And that could be the case with whatever you're working on as well, whether it's writing, coding, game dev, whatever it is. Just show up for it, because you deserve how great that outcome is going to feel at the end. You know what I mean? And that's something I wish for everyone. I wish for them to feel the way it felt when I put that final period at the end of my book. Because very shortly after that, in fact, that night, we had a party. And it was completely unrelated to the book. But like, while everyone was there, my friends, my wife's friends, we toasted my book at the end. And I was so overcome with positive emotion, I almost shed a tear. That was just a great moment. It was this really cool culmination of all my efforts, because I have been trying to like write a novel since I was like younger. And like I was so indecisive, and I couldn't make up my mind, and I'd lose interest in one thing and then hop to another thing, and it just wasn't good. It wasn't conducive to productivity, right? But I think that even if maybe the first version of the final product is going to be shitty, you just kind of have to do it. And maybe only through something shitty can something great come out. Maybe like growing up, like being a person. You're untested, you're ignorant, you know, before you've been experienced in the ways of life, and you get humbled. And that's your version of like correcting drafts, right? So that by the end of your life, you know, you're a better draft. Or like at any point in your life, you know, like at 25, you're a better draft, hopefully, than you are at 15. And then at 30, you're a better draft than you were at 25. Same with 40 and so on. So I think this is all to say, whatever that thing is you are working on, show up for it. Finish it. It's going to make you feel really fucking good. And even if it never goes anywhere, even if no one acknowledges you for it, it's still worth doing because of what it's going to do to you internally. It's a great feeling. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger said, it's better than coming. And I think that's a good place to leave it. So go ahead and sit with that thought. And here's to more finished products. Products? What am I, a corporation? Here's to more finished projects in the future. Cheers. As soon as it lets me stop.